It is time now, guys, for the official prediction for this year's Women's Australian Open. If you guys have been coming to this channel, you know I gave you guys the entry list, the long shots, the contenders, the favorites. All that now, that's all behind us. It's now about this main draw. It gets started tomorrow on January 12th. Gonna be exciting, guys. So with that being said, let's get into this official prediction. And there's three names I'm keeping an eye out on for this year's Australian Open. I'm going to do a quick little breakdown and then give my prediction at the end of this video. Let's get started by talking about the back-to-back champ, Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka, the world #1, probably the favorite to win this year's Australian Open. But here's the thing, guys, with Sabalenka, this draw, maybe not the prettiest like you guys would think, right? Mira Andreeva, round 4. Sabalenka did just beat her in the lead up to the Australian Open. But remember, Andreeva shows up big time in major championships, actually beat Sabalenka in last year's French Open. Qinwen Zheng, quarterfinal as a possible matchup. Remember, Qinwen Zheng playing a little bit better against Sabalenka. At first, it was Sabalenka dominating that matchup. The last time we saw it, it went 3 sets. Zheng has all the talent in the world. That's a big quarterfinal matchup if we see that one. Semifinals, Gauff, red hot. Big matchup there. Maybe Jessica Pegula, Paula Badosa, Karolina Muhova, who actually has the better of Sabalenka. Then a possible final matchup, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, Emma Navarro. Navarro has beaten Sabalenka in the past. So has Swiatek, Rybakina, and Sabalenka too. They go back and forth there. So a lot of big matchups out there for her. Now, next person, guys, going to do a quick little breakdown of is Coco Gauff. Gauff, just like Sabalenka on that half of the bracket, things are a little bit dicey for these guys in this half of the bracket. You have Sofia Kenin off the bat for Coco Gauff. And if you guys remember Wimbledon a couple years ago, it was Kenin who beat Gauff early in that tournament. And Kenin, again, former Australian Open winner. Tough one right out of the gate. Round 4, Karolina Muhova sitting out there. Muhova's a tough out. Maybe even possibly Naomi Osaka. I don't know. I doubt Osaka gets that far. But still, if she is that far, she's somebody who knows what it takes to win this tournament. Big matchup there. Quarterfinals, maybe Paula Badosa or Jessica Pegula. I think both of those matchups favor Gauff, but still big names, still a lot of talent there. Semifinals, of course, either Sabalenka or Qinwen Zheng. Big matchups there. Finals then, Iga Swiatek, who Gauff has been beating as of late, but still, guys, that matchup head-to-head heavily favors Swiatek. Then, of course, Elena Rybakina sitting out there. Then if Emma Navarro were to get that far, Navarro bounced Gauff out of Wimbledon and the U.S. Open last year. So that's a bit of a matchup problem for Gauff as well. So Sabalenka and Gauff, I think you guys expect them to get to the semifinals. I do too, but that road's a little tricky. But you know the road isn't tricky for? Iga Swiatek. That's what she's included in this one. Iga Swiatek was way overdue to get a big-time break in one of these major championships and get a very favorable draw. She got one here for this tournament, guys. When you look at her matchup, I expect her to get to at least the quarterfinals by looking at it. Again, she could get upset somewhere if she's not playing up to her standard. I know maybe that leg's a little bit banged up coming into this year's Australian Open. Maybe something like that could happen. But still, if she's on top of her game, I expect to at least get to the quarterfinals where Emma Navarro waits. Big matchup there. Two ladies that can return the ball at a very high rate, very good at doing so. I think Swiatek, the little bit power of advantage there, leans that matchup, in my opinion, towards Iga Swiatek. But so that would be a big one if she gets by Navarro, if that was the case. Semifinals, Elena Rybakina kind of has always had Iga's number, but Iga just beat Elena Rybakina in the lead up to the Australian Open, so keep that in mind there. Plus, if Rybakina gets eliminated, that really opens the door for Iga Swiatek to get to a final, where then, of course, it would be most likely Sabalenka or Gauff. If it's not those two, maybe you have a Qinwen Zheng, Jessica Pegula, Paula Badosa, Karolina Muhova. Some big names in play there. But, guys, here's the big thing for Iga Swiatek. This is a very favorable draw. Again, if she's playing up to her standard, what we all expect out of her every time she steps foot on a tennis court, I think Iga Swiatek makes a final. Why is that big? What's Iga's record in finals? It's incredible. It's like ridiculous, right? What is she? 24, 18-4. If she goes to the finals, she usually goes all the way. And mind you, she's never lost a major championship in the final. But guys, if she's going to do so, it's going to happen this year. Because I think the semifinal matchup, if we see it, of Sabalenka versus Gauff, I think whoever wins that matchup is going to win this whole entire thing. That's going to be good. Both ladies playing very well right now. Sabalenka on arguably her best surface. Gauff red hot after a great end to 2024 carried down to 2025. She's dominated from what we've seen out of her as of late. So you can go either way with this one, guys. It's so hard to predict. But I think that matchup has all of the makings to be whoever wins it comes out of it. And for me, I'm going with Coco Gauff just because I like the way she's been playing as of late, guys. Gauff has been playing red hot. Whatever cracks there's kind of been in her game, she's cleaned those up. She's serving at a very high rate right now. Not to mention that forehand that's given her problems in the past. Seems like she's worked all those kinks out. That's been very good for Gauff and actually a weapon as of late. So I like Gauff a lot in this tournament. Again, Gauff, Sabalenka, those draws, let's see. But if they get that far, I think they're going all the way. The big thing, though, my big prediction, I know you could go either way with Gauff or Sabalenka, but I think Iga Swiatek at least makes this year's final. So, going to be a fun tournament. Again, my official prediction, Coco Gauff wins this year's Australian Open.